can't quite put my finger on it, guys. Something is becoming more apparent with the Switch 2. So you lot are here to help me find out what it is. I could be wrong, I could be right, I could be talking complete nonsense, so there's only one thing to do. I'm Dark Soul, so let's jump in and do this review. Let's start with the state of the Switch 2, where it's sitting and where it's heading. We've had the console for around 6 months, and I think people are starting to have more optimism about the hybrid, where it's heading. Yeah, the rocky start didn't help much with overpriced launch titles and some sloppy ports. I mean, still to this day, Bethesda. But having said that, we're still starting to slowly see the Switch taking it up a gear with what people are crying out for, to see it stretching its legs. We're getting shadow drops, some solid ports like Star Wars and Assassin's Creed, and some decent third-party support coming relatively soon. So, if we look at the original lineup for the Switch 1, for example, it didn't start kicking off until after the first year. So if we take a step back and look at the Switch 2's library so far, and factor in that it's only been about 6 months or so, that's not that bad. I think its library was a struggle straight out of the gate because not many people are into Donkey Kong or Mario Kart as much as Zelda or a new 3D Mario. So the only thing that was left was Cyberpunk, a game that most people have played already. But hats off to CD Projekt Red for carrying the Switch's launch and showing people what the Switch 2 can do. However, with that being said, now is probably a great time to pick up a Switch 2 rather than at launch. So let's dive into the meat and potatoes and go over the tech. Most people have their own preferences on buying a hybrid console like this, for its games or for its design. Some people are happy in the middle. With the Switch 2, I lean more towards the console itself rather than the games. It's sleek and portable and great for travelling, which I do a lot of. I have my PC at home along with my Steam Deck, which I'll be giving the thoughts on in another video. I wanted something that was an upgrade to the already fully portable OLED Switch. Something that stayed relatively similar in terms of aesthetics and ease of use straight out of the box. Something that I can throw in my bag and that doesn't take up too much space. There's a few gripes like no video output on its 2 USB ports besides from when you dock it in the official dock, and the screen not being better. I personally don't have a problem with the screen like some people, and I think it looks super immersive, even without the OLED. You play with your phone or the OG Steam Deck, and then you come to this, you certainly feel the difference in immersion. The console itself feels quality, and everything just feels more premium since the Switch 1. Everything you would want from an upgrade. Nintendo may have played it safe this time. They didn't go with a new console launch that's popping colour variants and strange gimmicks. They just doubled down on building off the strength of the Switch 1. For sure that ruffled a few feathers. Me personally, I just wanted an upgrade from the Switch 1 with better power. I can play my backlog of library and wait for all these new third-party games to start coming through. In the meantime, while I wait for the games I'm excited about like Elden Ring and Dustbloods, I'm happy getting some couch co-op time in with the missus and chilling out on the sofa, random places like the toilet, and getting some hours in when I can. All in all, if you look at the tech itself and where it's heading, it's a great buy now, coming into the holidays. So pick up one and have some fun, because that's what it's all about. I'm Dark Soul, and I'll see you on the next one.